What up, guys? This is
Cheevo, guys.
Back here again with another video. Today I'm gonna be showing you guys every single weapon available in Back 4 Blood. So by default, when you spawn in the fort, you're only going to have this pistol. I'll go ahead and shoot around the pistol a few times so you guys can get the feel for it. Basically what we have going on here is I was part of the early access beta, and in the beta they actually let us get a sneak preview at every single weapon that's going to be in Back 4 Blood. If we take a look at the table behind us, we're going to have all of the different guns, including the rare guns. We're going to start off with the melee weapons. I know there's not too much to show in regards to these, but I just want to show you guys which melee weapons are available and kind of how they swing and such. So that's going to be the fire axe. Let's see what we have next here. Alright, so next we have a machete. I'm sure this does a lot of damage. Let's check it out. Okay. So when you hit the dummies in the shooting range, it actually shows how much damage you're dealing, so you can kind of get an idea of which weapons are the strongest. Now, it looks like our last melee weapon is this little hatchet right here. To my knowledge, you cannot throw the weapons. I was hoping you were able to throw them, but I couldn't figure out how, so I'm thinking that you cannot throw the melee weapons. However, you do have some throwable weapons right here, such as grenades and Molotov cocktails. There was really only two items that I noticed that were not at the shooting range, that being flash grenades as well as pipe bombs. And pipe bombs happen to be pretty much my favorite weapon in this game, just because they beep and they attract the zombies for a lot of kills. So let's go ahead and check out the weapon table. So we're going to start off with this gun right here, the M249. This gun is absolutely beast mode, you guys. It's one of my favorite ones. It's an automatic light machine gun. It does low damage but has high capacity. It has a clip that holds 80 bullets, so the clip is going to last for quite a while. Our next gun is going to be the RPK. This is another automatic light machine gun. However, the clip is half the size. This clip is only 40 bullets. Saying only like that's a small clip. That's still a pretty big clip, but it's a machine gun. You can shoot in bursts by tapping the right trigger, or you can hold it and just keep shooting, but there's a lot of recoil. And then next we have the Barrett M95. This is a bolt action sniper rifle. There are attachments in the game, so you can add scopes and different attachments, things like that, but I wanted to show you guys the base weapons without any attachments. But yeah, as you can imagine, this one does high damage as it is a sniper rifle, so you can get those one-shot kills. Let's see what we have next. Next we have the Phoenix 350L. This one is another bolt action sniper rifle. However, this one reloads much faster, so you can get a lot of shots off quicker. But the other one's definitely a lot better in my opinion. And then next we have another epic rifle. This one is an automatic rifle with low damage. This is the M1A. Now, I gotta say, you gotta be careful with some of these automatic weapons, because if you keep holding down the right trigger, you will get a lot of recoil on some of these guns. Next, we have the ranch rifle. This is a semi-automatic rifle with high damage and high recoil. I found it pretty effective. If you can mash the right trigger button and keep tapping it, you can shoot pretty fast. Alright, so next we have one of the best guns, or one of the easiest guns to control in the game. That's the M4 Carbine. This is an assault rifle. Again, really easy to control, and it does, a medium amount of damage. Some would consider it low damage, but, as long as you're getting your shots on point, it's very effective. Next, we have one of the most legendary assault rifles, the AK-47. Now, the AK-47 has high damage, however, it is very inaccurate, so you have to be very careful when you're using the AK-47. You kind of want to shoot it in bursts rather than holding it down, otherwise it's going to be shooting all over the place. But that's the classic AK-47 for you. Super inaccurate, but super effective at close range. And for the most part, you're going to have a lot of zombies in your face, so the gun is semi-effective. And next we have another classic with the M16 Assault Rifle. This is the 3-round burst rifle, so it's pretty much going to be shooting 3 bullets at a time. So yeah, this is going to be another really popular one. However, my personal preference is I don't like guns that shoot in bursts. I like guns where I can kind of control the burst by either holding it down or tapping it. Another thing I want to point out is that if you're not zooming in and you're shooting this from the hip, you're going to have a lot of recoil. Let's see, next we have another assault rifle, that being the SCAR Assault Rifle. This one is another automatic rifle. It has an extreme rate of fire with a slow delay in between the bursts. For a gun that shoots in bursts, I actually enjoyed this rifle. It shoots pretty good from the hip as well. You're not getting too much recoil with this rifle compared to some of the others. I mean, you definitely have recoil, but it's not as bad as some of the others. The effectiveness really just comes down to how close you are to your enemy. Next, we're going to dive into the shotguns. We have the AA-12 shotgun. This is an automatic shotgun. One of my favorite weapons in the game, definitely probably top 3 as well, just because, you know, automatic shotguns are pretty beast mode. I like using the shotguns in the game. For instance, we have a Super 90 right here. This is more like a standard shotgun. It's not automatic. The thing is that I find with the shotguns, I don't know, they weren't as effective when I was actually playing the game because, you know, you need to reload them. Sometimes you reload slowly when you're reloading a shotgun compared to just loading a clip in a rifle. Next, we have the 870 Express. This is another typical shotgun. However, this one does a lot of damage, and you actually, you know, get some fairly good distance with this one. I'm able to hit some targets that are fairly far away. A lot of these shotguns feel the same. Next, we have Attack 14. This is probably the strongest shotgun in the game. It's a pump action shotgun with extreme damage. However, you load 1 shell at a time, which is really not clutch when you have a bunch of zombies around you. So as much as it's a good weapon, I don't recommend it. Next, we have the UMP-45. This is an epic submachine gun with really good accuracy. If you want a gun that has high accuracy and really low recoil, this is probably the gun for you. This is definitely a top 5 gun in the game. I really like the way it shoots from the sights, but as well as from the hip. And a lot of the time when you're actually playing the game, you're going to be shooting from the hip way more than you actually realize. So it's really good to have a gun that shoots well from the hip as well as from the sights. Next, we have another submachine gun. Now this is by far my favorite weapon in Back 4 Blood. This is the Vector submachine gun. If you can find this weapon or purchase this weapon, I highly recommend it. It's very effective and very accurate. Next, we have an Uzi. The Uzi is another classic weapon. However, this one is also traditionally very inaccurate. So that's really what it's known for, is, you know, shooting in bursts and not really having great accuracy. It also unfortunately goes in your main weapon slot and not in your pistol slot. Next, we have our first pistol, which is going to be the one that we started the game off with. You guys may recognize this gun. This is your classic Beretta. We also have another form of the Beretta M9 Burst. This is basically the same pistol, however it has a burst to it because it's modified. So if you want something a little more automatic or that's going to shoot faster, this may be for you. However, you're going to have to reload, you know, a lot more because you're basically shooting half your clip every shot. Next, we have the Glock 23 to be specific. It's a semi-automatic pistol with a larger clip. It holds 12 bullets. We also have the Glock 23 Auto, and that basically is like an auto pistol, so it's going to automatically shoot your clip in a big burst. So you're going to find yourself reloading a lot with this one. I found that basically you have the traditional pistols, but then automatic versions of each of them. Next, we have the Desert Eagle, which is by far my favorite pistol. This one does high damage. It's also really accurate. I don't know why, but every time I hear the words Desert Eagle, I think about the old 007 video games. If we head back over to the table, we're going to find our next gun, which is the Tech 9. This is an automatic machine pistol. This does low damage with a high rate of fire. At least you can put this in your pistol slot though. Unlike the Uzi, that one has to go in your main slot, which really makes the Uzi useless. So yeah, the Tech 9 is pretty cool to put in your pistol slot if you can find one. And next we have the Magnum, the 357 specifically. Now, unfortunately, you can only hold 8 bullets in this gun. However, it's super powerful and super accurate. Just keep in mind that you do have a bit of recoil every time you shoot. And on top of that, the reloading is a little slow, especially compared to just loading a clip in some of the other pistols. But yeah, you have the classic revolver right here. This is a pretty good gun in terms of power. And then next, or finally, we have the Belgian, which is a sawed-off shotgun. I think this is technically the most powerful gun in the game, but it does shoot both bullets at the same time, or both shells, sorry. So it's going to do a lot of damage. However, you're going to have to reload both shells every time you shoot. So you're reloading after every shot, which can be kind of inconvenient. Other than that, we have a wall full of attachments here, like silencer, scopes, stocks, things like that. I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to be going over those. If you guys want to see those in a separate video, let me know. If you're curious to as which weapons are located on this other table, they're pretty much the same guns. I verified and we did not miss any of them. I also verified on their Twitter, and they did mention that all of the weapons are playable in the beta. So that's how I was able to show you guys all of these weapons before the game actually came out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed a sneak peek at Back 4 Blood, as well as all of the weapons in the game. Personally, I think my favorite weapon was this weapon right here. It's a submachine gun, and it is called the Vector. It has a really big clip. It's about 20 bullets. On top of that, it's probably the most accurate submachine gun in the game, or the most accurate gun at that, aside from the sniper, of course. So yeah, I'll show you guys a little more gameplay with this one, just being that, you know, I think that this is the best weapon in the game. Again, it's called the Vector submachine gun. If you can find it, be able to pick it up for free, that's awesome. But even if you know, find it at one of the safe houses and you need to pay for it, I highly recommend it. Other than that, make sure you guys keep an eye out for my other videos related to Back 4 Blood. As always, I'd like to give a huge thank you to all of my Patreon subscribers. We just hit 16 patrons. I'd like to give a special shout out to everybody in the biggest fan club, including Tim G84, AOJ, Kegger101, Kana25, Michael Banksa, and Purple Rain 6. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe.